This is the Rugged Revival podcast. We are your home of the UK's country, Americana and Roots music community. I'm here with my mate Ronnie. It's been a while since we've done a podcast, hasn't it?
It has been. I feel like I've gone away for about 3 years.
Yeah.
It's been nuts.
It's been marvellous. Long may that continue.
Where have you been all my life?
I don't know. Here I am. Anyway, we are joined today by a very special guest. He's a man with 30 billion streams on Spotify, 37 Grammy nominations. He's a 32-time recipient of the prestigious CCA Awards. And it's all true because I've checked out his website, so there's no lies to be told here. It's Cody Christian. How are we doing, mate?
Doing great. Just swimming in the wealth and success over here. Thoroughly enjoying it.
Well, we are glad to have you back on, mate. We tried to make an attempt not too long ago. We won't go into that. We're experts on Wi-Fi and all technical stuff now. Well, sort of, anyway.
There we are.
But it's wonderful to have you back on, mate. So I think just for starters, just for listeners' sake again, would you mind introducing yourself in your own words and telling us a little bit how you describe your music?
My name is Cody Christian. I live in Virginia, the United States of America, kind of right in the middle of Virginia. And the genre, I guess, is country-ish. You know, get a little funky here and there, get a little folksy. I don't know, Americana or something. Something's down. We don't play any tracks or anything yet. Whatever that means.
Does that mean you just jam out with space funk and whatever you want to play?
You know, I like to think we're pretty versatile, so we have played with some space funk bands. Yeah, play with anybody, I guess. Any room's an opportunity.
I like that style, mate. There you go. Well, I'm going to hand over to Ronnie because it doesn't seem like you've done any talking or any podcasts for quite some time. So... Can you remember how to do it?
No, I can't. I'm in awe of the professionalism that you bring to this podcast, TJ. I'm not. It's a complete lie. And actually, I've got to say, I didn't know that you were going to be quite funny on the intro, and I'm really impressed. So well done, TJ. It's nice to see you again.
All day.
Cody, it's so good to see you.
Well, thanks.
Again.
I'd also like to point out, I don't know if he was being that funny. He was just reading my bio that I wrote. So.
Oh, fair enough. You're the funny one.
Well, yeah. Credit where it's due.
That's true. We do know that last time because I was wetting myself laughing, and unfortunately, it didn't go very well, the recording. But this is going to be even better.
Good.
This is going to be even better.
Good.
So, Cody, it's an absolute pleasure to speak to you again. And I'm going to start off by saying I like to talk about your early life as like a documentary. So, if your life were a documentary, what would be in your opening scenes? Who would be the people that you would be hanging your time with? And bring us up to the current day. Give us a bit of an autobiography.
Okay. Well, opening scene, I think, would be a hospital room. And the way that my mom tells it was that it was like basketball championship season, I guess, in June. And, my dad and my granddad were like in a separate room watching basketball with like a cooler of beer or something. And then I came into the world. So I kind of interrupted a basketball game. Yeah, I mean, it's all downhill from there, really. That's kind of how it started.
You're going to have to beef it up a bit more than that.
Yeah. So yeah, I was born and here we are. No, let's see what happened next. Yeah, I grew up in church and stuff, and that's, it's a long story, but that's eventually how I got into music and learning guitar and playing. And I think that shaped a lot of my experiences and stuff. And I mean, I don't know how long you want the biography to go, but born,
yes,
played sports. Started playing music, at some point realized that there were a few people out there that might pay to see it. So I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe this might be an opportunity or something to, I don't know, do something other than like work. So then I decided, long story short, to try to make it a job, and then I realized, no, it's still actually a lot of work. Sometimes you got to talk to people like in different countries and figure out internet stuff, and all part of the job, And turns out you don't get paid for most of the job that you do in music. I wasn't aware of that. Very much a tip of the iceberg situation when you get money. So that's been fun navigating. Pretty
Good.
short bio, yeah. This might be like a coloring book biography more than a
I love this.
100-page.
I love this. Now, when people are listening, we want them to draw pictures as we're going along.
Yeah.
So we can assign them to all your little bits of the story. I think that'd be quite a good idea.
Yeah,
We also love to create
friends.
awkward silences along the way, just to add to the tension.
Yeah.
So there'll be a few times like that.
Yeah. So Cody, who are the characters in your early life? Who would you point at and say, yeah, I noticed that. I like that person. I enjoy their company.
Just characters
Who's the
in my
notable
early life
characters?
that like people
Just characters, yeah.
people I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, what did I enjoy? I don't know if it's cool to say that I watched The Cosby Show growing up.
Yes, it is.
I don't say that anymore.
It is cool.
I mean, I don't know if I look to him as an inspiration or anything, but I enjoyed watching that show some. I don't know why I said that. I enjoyed watching a lot of different shows. For whatever reason, that's the first one that came to mind.
I loved it. So when you were talking about inspiration, who is your musical inspirations?
Musical inspirations. I've had a few, man. So one of the first things I remember hearing was Alan Jackson, and apparently when I was a small child, my mom had a cassette player in a Jeep, and like "Be Little Bitty" was my favorite song. So like one of the first things I ever remember hearing was Alan Jackson. And then earlier in my childhood years, I was kind of, I don't want to say forced into like listening to Jesus music, but it was highly encouraged. Like anything outside of Christian music was stuff that I had to kind of conceal and hide that I got from the neighborhood kid. So like I had a burnt CD that was full of like Slipknot, Rob Zombie, I think like Drowning Pool. So like some heavier stuff when I was in junior high, but I think the CD, it was labeled something totally different than what it was, just in case my mom ever saw it. So I grew up listening to like the stuff that I wanted to, and then there was stuff that she wanted me to listen to, which was kind of like the Christian version of all that hard stuff. And so some of it was good. Like I was into Skillet, I think. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Skillet.
No.
They're interesting. Basically like the Temu versions of mainstream grunge, rock and roll, whatever you want to call it. But the first time that I saw a band and it made me realize that I wanted to be in a band and like this could be really cool was when I saw a band called Need to Breathe. And the guy, they kind of dabbled into the Christian stuff on a song or two here and there, but other than that, they were like a southern rock kind of soul band. And he was one of the first guys that I noticed that was just singing like from his nuts, and wearing cool big hats and had long hair. I was like, yeah, seeing them was what made me want to start wearing cowboy boots and like big hats and tight pants. And then later in life, I find out who Tyler Childers is and like Chris Stapleton and Sturgill Simpson. And I think the discovering of that stuff for me really kind of set in stone that like, oh, I think I like country music, because there was a long period of time in my life where I didn't, and it was mostly the heavier rock stuff, and what I was hearing on country radio, I didn't jive with, like, the Luke Bryans and Florida Georgia lines and
Mm.
stuff. So I was kind of for all I knew, country music was that. So I was out of it for a while until I was, my eyes were open, I guess, to really good stuff that I liked and could relate to, and like, oh, you can write songs like that. So yeah, I'll say those are the big musical influences in order.
The good stuff
Brilliant.
is hidden, though,
Yeah.
isn't it? As we had the same issue here, as we talk about a lot, Ronnie,
Yeah.
with other artists. It's, you know, on the radios in the UK, it's the same situation. If you want to listen to Luke Bryan or who's the new one, Riley Green, and on those type of people, you know, there's a place for them. People love them. You know, good on them. Not for me. And it was until you kind of found Tyler and some of the others through Spotify
Yeah.
or streaming that I think it turned a corner for a lot of people. Within the last 10 years, it's quite recent, isn't it? It's not been going on for that long. But
Yeah, I think it's getting people to try and dig deeper into that as well, and realizing that country music isn't just a certain way. They hear certain things that are affiliated to it, and they think that's all country music, and actually it's not. You know, I remember from what you were saying about growing up around Alan Jackson. You know, I grew up with Charlie Pride and George Jones and everything else, but I like that. It was complete different chains. But until you start digging into it, you really get to know what you like. So, yeah,
Right.
interesting. And you mentioned something there about TJ. Well, not about TJ, about you finding big hats and tight pants. And actually, that's what TJ really wants to do when we go over in October. So,
Nice.
big hats and tight pants. There you go.
Right on.
yeah. Leather ones as well. So if you know
Oh,
any
God.
shops or anywhere I can buy some, then I'm all ears, mate.
Right on. And y'all are going to Texas, right?
Yeah, hopefully in October, Fort Worth, Dallas
Okay.
side, Stockyards. We've got a few things planned, but we can't reveal too much. Mainly because we don't know what we're doing and we haven't booked it yet.
Yeah. Can't reveal it because we don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
FBI likes secrecy, don't they?
Yeah. You shouldn't have
Anyway,
any trouble finding
Cody,
a hat out there.
Yeah. Not the sort of ones that he wants to get, though,
No.
to be honest. I'm talking about the big bucket
Right.
hats.
It's because I've got a big head as well, so I need something.
And I could be
fitting.
wrong. Like,
Yeah.
don't quote me on it, but like, I guess like real cowboys will, there's like seasons when like there's a certain kind of hat that you can wear and a certain kind of hat that you can't wear. I think it's like the summer months. I think it's straw or something. And then I think in the winter or fall, it has to be felt. I don't know what the date is. So all I'm saying is just be careful. That's all.
I'm going to make him wear the wrong hat, so I get to see him getting his head kicked in
Yeah.
by a cowboy.
I mean, if you're confident enough, though, like there's no such thing as a wrong hat, you know.
We'll live stream it. Yeah, that's fine. Fine by me.
I will. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, Cody, back to you. I wanted to ask about some of your early career choices.
Yeah.
Because we talked about a story that influenced one of your songs. Now, I know originally we talked about the fact that one of my sources informed me about it, but the last time I went to a source, it was all about lies because they lied to me and told me the wrong information.
Yeah.
And it was the same as TJ. So actually, we talked about liars and just filling everything with lies and just lying about everything. So anyway, going back to your early career choices, what did you do?
What do I do or what did I do?
What did you do? What influenced you one of your songs?
I mean, I've had a lot of jobs. In fact, the best job that I ever had, I tell everybody, was being a delivery guy for Domino's Pizza. My senior year of high school, best job you could possibly have. Free pizza, you get to drive around, listen to music. What's better? But eventually, like my first like real like career job, I was working at a shipyard in Newport News, Virginia, where we built aircraft carriers and submarines for the Navy. And I worked there for a little over 8 years. And I was a ship fitter, SHIP fitter. Usually have to spell that one out for people. Sometimes they're like, "What's a ship fitter?" I'm like, "I don't know." Sounds really messed up though. Anyways, ship fitter. So I don't have a lot of certifications in life. I do have a high school diploma, and I also have a certification that I can be a ship fitter somewhere. That's about it. Yeah, that did kind of inspire one of my songs about quitting your job called 2 Week Notice. Which, if you're a good employee and you're gonna quit a job, you're supposed to give people 2 weeks. Funny thing about that song is it was written before I quit. It was kind of more of a prophetic tune, I guess. But I didn't even give a 2 week notice when I quit. I just quit kind of day of. Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. If I'd have given them a 2 week notice, I think they would have just fired me right then. So I got an extra 2 weeks.
You didn't give them the gratification of it. Yes.
No.
So the best part about like knowing that you're going to quit a job is, and nobody else does. So, you get to kind of reflect and take it all in the last few days. Yeah.
Can we just lie about the song being written before, and just say that it was like that, two fingers up, bye, I'm out.
Yeah,
that's what I really want to do. That'd be perfect.
I think good songwriting. If everything were 100% the truth, how many songs would be awesome? I'd say a lot less.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to speculate or take other people's stories. Hey, not everything that I write about is 100% my life. Sometimes that would be boring. There's only but so many songs you can write
you
about.
Both, I think.
Sitting around having bad internet.
No one's wrote a song about that, I believe.
Repeating.
There might be a reason.
Repeating recordings 3 times.
Yeah.
Cody, absolute pleasure speaking to you. I'm going to hand over to TJ because I've waffled enough. So thank you so much.
All right.
You certainly have, mate. You certainly have.
Well done. Well done.
Well, Cody, so I mentioned before we were introduced by our mutual friend, Mr. Nathan Bess, a lovely guy, fantastic musician. Can't even say that now. I've only had one beer. But I'm so glad he put us onto your music because you were up there, mate, with all of the stuff that we listened to throughout the year. I think it's you and Jesse Williams and a few others that, are definitely up. So, and he couldn't speak more highly of you, mate. So that's fantastic. I did recognise your name when he mentioned it because I've heard of you before, and it's because I had Canary in a Coal Mine on one of my really early OG playlists. So it felt like it was meant to be, mate, to eventually speak to you. But if you don't mind, I think what we're trying to do with some of these shows as well is to play a little bit of music as well. Some people have not criticised us in the past, but said, why don't you play some music during a music podcast or interview? And I thought, well, for the most part, it's because of the big wigs will get us done for copyright and take our lovely podcast down.
Yeah.
So we try to be careful. So would you
You'll
mind?
never take us alive.
You'll never take us. But I always get permission, and I think we're safe if we got the artist on to at least try and play a little something. So would you mind if we played Canary in a Coal Mine, just a snippet?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. I don't know what YouTube's going to do, but go ahead. Yeah, do your thing.
We might remix it by AI, so he's given us permission for that as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's go for it.
I'm a canary in a coal mine that might never fly again. Up out of the blue sky to make way for richer men. Takes that old war king to cut a free bird's wings I might never sing again. Making pennies on a dollar, put away for need and end.
One of my favourites, mate. It's a great song and it's a great album. It's a couple of years old now, isn't it? Canary in a Coal Mine.
Yeah, I think
the full album.
2022 is when it came out, so I think we're about at 3 years, honestly.
On it. Yeah, I forget which song is on that particular album. Wife and Kids I've been jamming to lately as well. I don't know if that's separate to that particular one. Should have done my research a bit better, really. But
yeah, no, that was.
But
on
I've
there.
been
Yeah.
Oh, that was on there. There you go.
There was I was listening to one the other day actually, and a lot of people don't normally get this, but it was Saints of I can't say it again. Saints of Appalachia.
Uh-huh.
And love that.
Thanks, man.
Fantastic.
Yeah, there's a few songs that I've done like just live and acoustically, and then recut them again like with a full band just to give it a different sound, different life. And those are both tunes that had that happen to them.
Absolutely, and I keep kind of banging on about it, but don't sleep on that particular album. As I say, it's a couple of years old now, and I think it deserves a lot more plays with that. So brilliant. We'll play a couple more tracks as we go throughout the podcast, mate. But let's go back into like your home state of Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So we always like to picture what it's like over in the US, because over in Little England, not much happens. You could probably drive from one end to the other in, a couple of hours mostly. So it's not great. So I'd like to know what Virginia's like in your particular hometown. What's it like living there? What's the scene like as well?
Right. Well, Virginia is, I'd say, probably has as much diversity in it as a lot of the other states in America. So, there's parts of Virginia where you could drive for 9 hours and still be in Virginia. And you would definitely see the spectrum, because I think you would start in like DC area, which is where all the, politicians and rich people hang out. And a real Virginian probably would say that doesn't count. And then you get into Appalachia, and then you also got the in-between there. And I grew up kind of in the in-between, which was a town called Powhatan, which is just a small, pretty rural community. Growing up, there were a couple dairy barns, a lot of farmers, and just country people, not really much going on. You had like high school sports and little league, and other than that, people just working, no real entertainment. There's maybe 1 or 2 bars that people might go to. And that was it. So Powhatan, not too much happening other than living easy, which, a lot of people like and prefer. Right now where I'm living is kind of close to Richmond, Virginia, which is pretty central. And I think they've got a really incredible music hub here. A bunch of venues ranging from an amphitheater to, 100 cap little clubs and stuff. Like I just put up a video the other day. I got to open for the Red Clay Strays a few years ago. And we were at Richmond Music Hall, and there might have been like 20 to 30 tickets sold or something. And then just a few days ago, they were headlining the amphitheater in Richmond. So that was really sweet just to see that. The music scene in Virginia is, it's super diverse. I spent a lot of time in the Hampton Roads area, which is where I was working at the shipyard, where, you can find live music just about every night of the week. Mostly cover stuff and tribute bands. But so many bars, real touristy town. So lots of opportunities just to play. And then the further west you go, like Floyd, Virginia, I think that's the home of like Morgan Wade. And then like 49 Winchester, I believe they're like from Russell County, which is also like kind of Western Virginia. A lot of really good stuff comes out of here, I think. Brennan Edwards, Chris Hunt, Lillian Hackett, Jake Cohn, all some people hopefully you guys recognize, or if you don't, you should. They're all really, really great. Exactly.
Yeah. Brennan was on the show a few months back. I've lost track of dates completely, so I think he was an early podcast guest of ours. So he's fantastic. And Chris Hunt Jr. I was put onto through Brennan.
Yeah.
And there's a few, like you say, there's some fantastic people and bands coming out of that particular region. I think we try and keep tally of podcast guests and what state they come from. And I think Virginia's pretty much up there with Kentucky at the minute. So Appalachia's killing it. I think the whole of Appalachia is amazing, mate. Thanks for sharing that, mate. So we're always interested in finding out where the place is to go and what the scene's like. And Richmond comes up quite frequently in terms of independent music.
Heck
And,
yeah.
you know, one day we will get there. It will be amazing to take a trip out.
Heck yeah.
So, but there you go. So yeah, we've obviously done lots of research, as you know, Cody. We delve into your past and, you know, what you've been up to, and, you know, I couldn't help but notice, was it the Gavin Adcock versus Charlie Crockett beef lately? And
Right.
you've got some beef of your own, I noticed, and I believe it's Lee Bryce. Is that still outstanding beef that you have?
Well, I mean, it's I don't know if it's considered beef if it's entirely one-sided. But you know, I doubt that he's ever heard of me, which is understandable. You know, I might just be the gnat in the ear, you know, kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan, you know, personally, not just because of the way that a certain situation was handled. We were actually booked to play with him, like we were going to open for him in Richmond, and it was going to be our first amphitheater show ever. So like, you know, we were super excited. Like, I mean, that would have been the biggest thing that we'd ever done. You know, and it's kind of criminal. I mean, I'll talk about the business a little bit of it because, like, we were going to get paid, I think, $250 to play in an amphitheater, opening up for some national act. Which, if you don't know, like, $250 for a band is not a lot of money. It's not that great.
Yeah.
But so we were supposed to play on a Friday, and on a Wednesday, I get word from the promoter that you know, they're canceling the show. They're not going to do it. Like, ticket sales just weren't good enough. And they had offered to Lee Bryce to play at a smaller room, you know, that they could actually fill up, and they declined. But so it's Wednesday, and I find out that we're not playing this amphitheater show, which, I mean, that sucks, you know. I mean, and I wasn't like the craziest Lee Bryce fan to begin with. Like, I recognize some of his songs, but, you know, he's kind of in that lane that, you know, I don't necessarily listen to. But it was still an awesome opportunity. So, you know, we get word that it's canceled. So being the guy that I am, I'd like to publicly let my people know, you know, hey, this show's canceled. Sorry. Like, hopefully you're getting refunds, or don't show up because nobody's playing a show there tonight. But they didn't announce anything. Like, Lee Bryce didn't announce. Nobody in their team made any sort of announcement that the show was canceled. So I make this announcement, which I think is, I mean, a pretty standard, polite thing to do. You know, if you say you're going to be somewhere one day, and it turns out you're not going to be there, I think you should probably tell people you're not going to be there. You know, I don't know how many people showed up to that place expecting to see a show and wondering, like, why is this parking lot empty? What's going on? So I thought that was messed up. And yeah, then next thing I know, I got, I mean, tons of, I'm assuming, Lee Bryce fans reaching out to me because I'm the only person that made any kind of statement about this show not happening. So I'm like, yeah, no, the show's canceled. I don't know why they're not announcing it or anything. So I just didn't like that. I didn't think that was cool at all. And I reached out to his booking agency, which unfortunately is like the biggest booking agency probably in the world, WME. I'm like, are you guys going to say anything? You know, because, like, I'm kind of getting bombarded by all of y'all's people here because I said the show's canceled because I thought that's what you're supposed to do. And they said no. You know, they emailed all the current ticket holders. And that was about it. And then I asked them, I was like, well, do you guys want to, like, are we going to reschedule or anything? Because, like, you know, we're small time here. Like, we were kind of taking a risk. I mean, it was a great opportunity, but $250 for, you know, that ain't nothing. Like, we could have been making, I mean, on a good night, 10 times that, you know, and actually made some money. But now that, you know, less than 48 hours notice, we're kind of screwed here. We just lost out on an opportunity and money. And we're the smallest fish in this pond. So, like, it actually hurts us. Like, you know, Lee Bryce and those people got paid tens of thousands of dollars to not show up, you know, just for some contract stuff. So anyways, that's my thing with
Yeah.
Lee Bryce, you know. And I'm sure if I ever met Lee Bryce,
That's
hopefully it'd
your
be cool, you know. If I could get if I could
Well,
just get my
he's on the
be like, hey man,
podcast
here's what you
next,
did to
Cody.
me. This is why this guy that you don't know is like, you know, ripping off whiskey riff and taking pictures of fish and just, you know, I like to think they're funny little jabs. Like I don't want to fight the guy, you know. Yeah. If anything, it'd be cool to be his friend.
No,
But you know, I do think that as a small independent artist, we were dealt like a pretty good injustice there and just kind of cast aside, you know, like it was nothing. And I might be a little bitter about that, but
no, it's things like that you do remember, and you know, I see a lot online recently about people really revealing the kind of behind the curtain scene of what the industry's really like, whether that's pay, the bookings, you know, the kind of machine of how it all works and how it shits on, you know, smaller artists that are not in the mainstream. And
yeah.
you know, there's plenty of people in that boat. And we've got some people coming up on future podcasts. Not Lee Bryce. He's banned from what you say. So, but we're going to have some people on because I'm interested in talking about the industry, because we normally on the podcast ask kind of not bland questions, but it's interesting stuff to get to know your background, your music, obviously, and everything else. But I want to know more about the industry and your kind of personal experiences of that, and what's going, particularly for an independent artist, what is going well for you, and what do you see working, and what needs a kind of massive overhaul in your opinion? It'd be interesting to get your thoughts on that.
Oh man, what is going well? Well, you know, we oh, that's a good question. What's going good? Uh, I mean, you know, we're forced to keep going, to keep throwing stuff at a wall to try and make this a sustainable thing. You know, and I mean, we've had really good opportunities like this past week. I took the van out and the band, and we went out to Kentucky and played some shows there. We did Red Barn Radio, which was like a bucket list thing for us. Um, you know, and then we played at this really cool bar in Lexington, Kentucky, called the Green Lantern, which to me, like, I just stumbled in there kind of accidentally one time, and just yeah, I feel like I found one of the cultural hubs of Lexington. Like, we got to play here, and we did on a Thursday, and I think, you know, there were maybe 18 tickets sold total. You know, but that's rock and roll, baby. You know, I'm down to suffer every now and then. Um, so I mean, what's going good? I think uh, you know, it's definitely organic. So if that's what people like, I think that's all we're really offering, because that's all we really have. You know, it just seems, and it makes sense, but it really does seem like more and more it's a pay to play kind of system. You know, like it seems like one of the things that you need to get anywhere is like a viral moment or something, or you got to invest a whole lot of money into Instagram and TikTok and stuff to even get to the following that you already have, much less to broaden your stuff. Um, and if you're one of those platforms, like I guess it makes sense. Like, why would you, if you had the power to have a video from going viral or not, like, why wouldn't you have people pay for it? And I'm not saying that everybody does. Like, there might be some organic stuff that pops off and gets a lot of views, and unfortunately for me, it seems to always be stuff that doesn't have anything really to do with my music. It's mostly just like making fun of whiskey riff or something, you know, making fake articles. That seems to be the stuff that does the best. So I think we are in a weird spot, um, with music, and really just, I guess, the culture here in general, where, like, I don't know if it's controversy or something is kind of what's rewarded. Uh, you know, and I mean, I think like Oliver Anthony, I think, was a big thing too. Like, he didn't just pop off because a lot of people liked him. Like, he popped off because an equal amount of people hated him. So if you can have something that is controversial, you're automatically going to get double the exposure. So it seems like that's what's rewarded. Um, and that's why I mean, I don't actually want to fight Gavin Adcock. I think he'd beat me up pretty good. But if he would threaten me just one good time, maybe I could get a whole bunch of streams off of a song. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So I don't know. It's that answer.
It's the good, bad, and the ugly.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, like, it just making music doesn't seem to be like enough. I think you have to work the social media game too, and whether that means you're putting a lot of money into it, or maybe I just haven't done anything organically that is worthy of millions of eyes yet, which I'm cool to. We'll just keep throwing stuff at a wall.
It is so difficult, mate, like you say, and it's frustrating more so for you as a musician when you see stuff, like you say, not related to the music and the releases and the stuff that you kind of putting your money into, your heart and soul, and it's the more comedic stuff that is getting your attention. And
Right.
I think it's the attention span. I think social media is great for independent people because, even for us to get our own stuff out without having to pay anything. You've got Instagram, TikTok, or whatever you've got at your disposal. And some people are very good at it. We're not very good at it. I admit that. we just try and keep things honest, authentic, and
Right.
we don't deviate because I just think the moment we start doing clickbait crap, we'd just end up like the
Nonsense.
the other platforms that we started this whole thing to kind of go up against and do something different. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how the industry changes over the next 5-10 years because, like I said, I'm seeing a lot of comments about some dislike comments about the industry at the minute on Facebook, particularly from some big artists as well. And I think they're just getting fed up with the way things are and the way things are going. So there's got to be a tipping point, I think, of whether a new platform comes out. I know Jam Nation is out there trying to do something different and change stuff through Rob, and I'll be interested to see how that impacts artists because that's primarily set up for the artist,
Right.
and for genuine fans, and to avoid that shitty clickbait crap. So I can see movement, but we've only been in the game for a couple of years.
Well, we weren't controversial, but now, now that we've just had that whole conversation, I think we might be.
Well,
but there we go. Fuck it. Why not?
Well, I mean, that's, it seems to be what you got to do, so call your shot, I guess. I don't know.
There we are.
But
Yeah.
I do like your
Fair play,
comedic,
Jeff.
yeah, I do like your comedic stuff on TikTok. I
Yeah.
did sit one evening watching a bit of Duke Dickel and enjoying myself. That sounds wrong for people that haven't watched a bit of Duke Dickel,
Right.
but
It,
go on Cody's TikTok and
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. Like, I know, I acknowledge however much I do or don't like it. Like, that you have to do something. You have to have some consistency, like, in anything you do. So, like, why shouldn't it be, your music and your brand, I guess. But I also have to do it in a way that I can sleep at night and feel good about myself. And maybe that says more about me than anything else, that I sleep better at night, parting my beard and just doing ridiculous things. That makes me feel better than lip syncing and actually trying to promote a song in a way that might be algorithmic. But maybe this is wrong, but I guess my philosophy is like, well, maybe I just need to keep doing what I'm doing, and one day the algorithm will just circle back around to me instead of chasing something that nobody really understands or knows. So I'm hoping that authenticity wins. And like I said, to me, that's creating your own news. I don't have the budget or the ripple effect to get coverage from the main country music platforms, and I appreciate you guys for having me on here. But I mean, my philosophy has always been like, well, if the news doesn't cover you, you got to make your own. So that's one of the first things we did. And Duke Dickel, it kind of started as that was how I'd answer the phone when I'd get calls for like, people trying to sell me vehicle warranties and car insurance and stuff. And I found that if you actually answer the phone and like mess with those people, that's when they stop calling. So it started as my phone alter ego and then just kind of transitioned into my my own news network. And more of that to come, for sure.
Yeah, we need some more Duke Dickel in our lives. But I binged watched that all in one night, I think. So it was,
well, and that's kind of
it's
the
hilarious,
thing
man.
too. Like, I know it's silly, but like my thing is if anybody that I don't know, stumbles upon my music or something and finds themselves looking into the Instagram or the TikTok, like I'd like to hope that it's something that they just find themselves like, oh, it's different, funny, like entertaining. At the end of the day, I mean, as a musician, as a podcast, what you're really competing for is people's time, 'cause that's all we got. So like, and if I want to sell a ticket on a night, like, how am I going to make myself stand out to these people to give 3 hours of their time or 5 minutes for this song in a world where, according to my statistics, people are only paying attention to like 6 seconds. So how do you turn 6 seconds into, $50 and 3 hours of their time or whatever? We're working on it.
Yeah, it's a challenge, mate. But I think we're all in the same boat in some respects. And if we can't, get people's attention for 6 seconds, then we're all fucked, I think. Anyway, should we move on to like a more positive note? I feel like we're
If you guys want to, yeah.
therapy for all three of us.
I was going to say we're now doing coaching on behalf of the Rugged Revival.
All right.
Yes,
Anyway,
indeed.
there
There
we
we go.
No, it's good.
Therapy by the Rugged Revival. There we go. Let's talk about your new music, mate. So we talked about Canary in a Coal Mine, your album. That is fantastic. But you had Modern Railways out. That's been a few weeks now, hasn't it? So it's got
I think
a recent release.
about a month. July 11th, I think, is when we released that one.
Yeah, man. Would you mind if we play a little bit of that too?
Oh yeah, have at it.
Thank God for speed, a modern railway, for bringing our lovers back home. Thank God for speed, of that old coal train. My baby's back at home in my arms.
Sorry,
Should
guys.
play it again.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Play again.
Sorry about that.
I love the hat. That was a superb look, mate.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I was
man.
just looking around to see if I could find any railway related stuff. It's in my room.
People don't think I do invest
That's
in the band and the brand, and this hat costs money. Sorry.
hard-earned money. Yeah.
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 It's all right, dude. Don't worry. There we go. Oh,
it.
I'm very jealous of that hat. I think the last hat I see like that was when Colby T. Helms came to the UK, and I think he came off the train line in Birmingham, dressed ever so strange with a massive train trucker hat type thing that you've got, and
Right.
some great clothing. So he stuck out really well in the centre of Birmingham. So at least I could spot him, straight away with his girlfriend, which is great. But anyway, we digress. So you've got that out now, and you've got something special coming out this Friday, haven't you, mate?
Yeah, we got a new song dropping Friday. It's called All or Nothing. I think it's a pretty groovy one. Got a thick bass line, kind of gets people hopefully shoulder popping.
Yeah.
Because that's the business I'm in these days, shoulder popping. So yeah.
Bring back shoulder popping. That's what we say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. So yeah, watch out for that on Friday. We are going to put that on the Rugged Revival playlist and send it out because we've had a little sneak preview. I love it. It's completely within your brand. So if you're a Cody Christian fan, you'll certainly love this one. Fantastic.
Right.
So Ronnie, I've been like you, mate. I've been waffling on for a bit. So might as well give you a turn.
Do you know what? You've done so well. We've changed it from a middle of the road podcast to a controversial podcast, and why not? We love it.
All over the place, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. Why not? We like to mix it up. Cody, we've got a playlist which is exclusive that TJ has just mentioned. Actually, it's exclusive to all of our guests and the people we meet on the road. So we've already got the song, your new song that you're releasing on Friday, which we're going to add onto there. Give us one more song that we can add on there that would really showcase you and your talents.
Huh. So one of my songs that would showcase me and my talents.
Yeah.
Well, did you say hard to add one or two on there?
Yeah. So the first one that we're going to put on is a new one on Friday, which is All or Nothing.
Right.
And then you get to choose the next one.
Huh. Well, my favorite song, I think, to play, and I think one of my favorites that I've written is still Canary in a Coal Mine. It's just fun to play, but I think it also says a good amount in what I think is a cool way. So I'd say either that one or one that's totally different from all of them, which would be Too Stoned in the City, which is probably the most fun to play live, which is just a cautionary tale of what you shouldn't do while driving. I have a couple songs that are, reference like drugs and smoking and, things that aren't good for you. But like, none of those songs are like positive in reality. It's like, if you do these things, like there are consequences. So I'm not like condoning any of these things. If anything, my song should be used in like drug education,
as a warning. Yeah.
I was going to say, do we get the parental guidance warning down the bottom of this podcast now?
Going off on a slight tangent, with Canary in a Coal Mine, I was listening to it again today, and whoever you had on backing vocals did a great job. She was really into it, and I just you can hear her, jamming away in the background. Who was that?
Oh, she's awesome. Her name is Emily Frazier. She's out of Virginia Beach. Super, like, she's really a pop, like, kind of like diva almost, like incredible vocals, and she's puts out a lot of her own original stuff. But yeah, she used to, she might still book music at like a hotel lobby. So she booked me there a couple of times, and I got to play, right by a fireplace in front of like 6 people. But she was a fan. I knew that she could sing really well. She was a friend, and and she wanted to be involved. And it was just a really cool experience. So yeah, Emily Frazier, super good.
We'll check her out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ronnie.
No, you carry on.
Damn, Ronnie.
I finished.
Damn, Ronnie. Right. So, we'll get them songs added. And in fact, let me cover this first, and then we'll go back to seeing what other songs I can get of yours on there. Because TJ loves it when I keep just throwing songs out. Yeah, we'll put 3 on. We'll put 4 on. Yeah, we'll do 3 of them. Why not?
Will it be the world's longest playlist if we give everyone 10 songs?
It will be, yeah. Yeah, but I'll do what I like, actually. TJ, there you go. So, you've been on enough times at the Rugged Revival. So 3 or 4 times now. Not officially, but there we go. So, we try to help emerging talent, emerging artists, and artists that are sort of not very well heard of. But we'll try and give them a bit of a shout out on here. We'll ask other artists if they've been listening to emerging artists and talent, and who would they love to give a shout out to. So I'm going to ask you that same question. Is there anybody that you see at the moment that might need a bit of a shout out to our community, to the Rugged Revival community?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the cool part is, I think you guys have already had, some of these folks like Brennan Edwards, Nathan Best, of course.
Mm.
Really like those guys. I got a good buddy out of Missouri that writes good stuff that I think you guys might dig, named Jake Stringer. Um, he has like legitimately one of my favorite like no skip albums. He's great. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like maybe like Whitey Morgan-ish, kind of that, outlaw, just
Yeah.
Waylon Jennings-esque kind of guitars
Mm.
too. Just super
Yes.
cool. Man, and I mean, Kentucky has so much good like Jordan Lee King. I don't know if you guys know Jordan.
Yeah.
Another like no skip album, in my opinion. Bill Taylor, another Kentucky guy. There's a girl, Carrie Lacey. She's out of Richmond area. And I'm actually doing a song with her that should be coming out sometime this fall or winter. That she wrote, and I got a verse on. Um, she's an incredible vocalist, really good songwriter. Let's see, man. The cool part about that is, you do get to say names, and the terrible part about that is that you blank on people that you really like, and then
We always say it's not an endorsement, because it can feel like that sometimes, but it's
Well, I
just
mean, it is an
shouting out
endorsement.
from
I'm
your
just,
clothes.
there's so many,
Well, yeah.
so many people I'd love to endorse.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, those are some big
That's
ones.
great. Thank you, Cody. Cheers. And I think just a question just on from that around emerging artists, and I've asked quite a few artists that we've interviewed, what would be your top 3 bits of advice for anybody who is currently new to the industry or wants to get into the industry, or is currently just, playing whatever they can, school fates, whatever, fun fairs. Anybody, what's your top 3 bits of advice for them?
Well, I mean, I don't think that I'm coming from a place of the amount of success that anybody should strive for. But what I would say is, I mean, one, make sure that you love it, like, and love it a lot. And I guess also learn to embrace the more sucky parts, because there's going to be a lot of that. But if you can switch your attitude from like, damn, I just drove 10 hours and there's 6 people in this room, like, it, it could be like, you know, I mean, I think that this business should be kind of a one at a time kind of thing. So like, you could look at it like, man, it's only 6 people, or you could look at it like, this is 6 people, that are here. Because at
Could
the
be
end
your
of the
biggest
day, like,
fans.
if you're singing and playing music, like, it's a pretty audacious thing to even expect people to pay money to watch you have fun. So I'd say be grateful for anything that you have, even if it's an empty bar, but the bartender likes you. Like, those are people you want to like you anyways, because those are the people that see everything. So yeah, if you could just change your attitude from like the shitty situations, I think are kind of what make you cool and unique and kind of build you, and how you react to that stuff. Um, I would also say, like, if you can build yourself, uh, I guess enough of a cushion to go out there and take losses. Like, when I drive 23 hours to Texas and come back, it's definitely not profitable. I'd make a lot more money if I stayed at home and did literally anything else. Uh, Even staying at home doing nothing probably would save money. But I think that stuff's important too. You know, Getting out there into new markets and really spreading yourself. Uh, Maybe spreading yourself thin too. I think there's some glory in the suffering, I guess. Um, yeah, and never take the people that do show up for granted. Because it'd be easy to look out into a room of all the same people at the same place and be like, I'm doing the same thing over again. But again, if you're in the business of competing for people's time, which is what you're doing, just being grateful for the people that are giving you that time, you know, because if you're busy being grateful for something, then you don't have time to be bitter, because you can definitely be bitter. you know, and I'm bitter about some things. I just told you I'm pretty bitter about Lee Bryce. But, you know, I think a healthy amount of spite is good. I mean, you know, you want to maybe a little bit of spite to keep
Yeah.
it going. Because there is, I mean, I do have a little list of, you know, man, if I ever get to some point, I might call that guy, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah,
it's
most of the people on my list is TJ.
Yeah.
Well,
There we go.
at least I'm on some sort of list somewhere.
right. And I don't know if that was 2 or 3 things, but I guess that was something. Also,
No, that's
maybe don't sign the band. Have you guys ever heard of Welshly Arms?
No.
They're out
No.
of Cleveland, but they go over to Europe a lot, and we got to open for them one time, and they were like, you know, one of my favorite bands. And one thing that they told me was like, dude, never sign the first thing that somebody gives you. You know, like whether it be a contract or something. Because oftentimes, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. And I think in that business, you know, you definitely want some options if those kinds of opportunities come along.
It's a great bit of advice. You know, everything that you've just said there, and very humble as well, actually. From what you mentioned around, you know, people turning up and listening to you, it could be 6 people instead of the 60 that you were planned and whatever else. But you're right. You know, everything you just said there. So they heard it here first, Cody.
Nice.
They've heard it here first. There we go. Right, now we get in to go to the gossip section of the podcast. And I can't remember if we've got anything on a soundboard to play. But if not, just play anything.
Some of the stuff I can't play.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
We'll save it.
So this is where I'll get to ask some really random questions.
Okay.
But why not? We're having a bit of fun. And then we go into a game, which is going to be extra fun.
I like it.
But we do have a soundboard thing for that, which is good. So, Cody, what's the most outrageous rumour you've heard about yourself? And did you spread it a little bit?
Well, we did play a show in Illinois this past week, and one of the guys that introduced us said that I beat Arnold Schwarzenegger in a arm wrestling match twice. So I don't know if that was a rumor, but I heard it there for the first time, and probably not true. You know, I don't think it happened. I don't think it ever could happen.
Who cares? We've already talked about this. We're all eyes on here, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's about 70 odd years old. You could probably take him now, I would say.
No,
I don't know.
luckily for me, like I don't think I hear if people are saying things. I don't think it gets back to me. So I guess that's good.
We'll make something up. Maybe right.
Good.
We'll post it everywhere. Now we talked about tabloids and we talked about headlines before in the middle section of the podcast. So you get one chance to fake a social media headline about yourself. What would it be?
Well, I mean, that's an interesting, because I have all the opportunities in the world to fake a headline, and I do it pretty often. So I think if you're asking what my next one's going to be, it's probably going to be,
Yes.
you know, that my new song, All or Nothing, has been a smash hit, and you know, that I'm currently scheduling a boxing match with Gavin Adcock and Charlie Crockett. I think something like that. Something that was like,
I like it.
And you've also got a tribute show at the Grand Ole Opry that you've got top headliners attending and singing about you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, perfect. Well, we'll get that advertised. So the last one. If a song was written about your most embarrassing, funniest moment, what would the title be?
If a song were written about my most embarrassing moment
or funniest moment,
what would it be? Have I ever been embarrassed? Man, try to think. Most times I've been super embarrassed, like it was really intentional and I knew that it was embarrassing. Let's see. I got a concussion one time playing football, and my parents took me to the hospital, and I didn't know what sport that I was playing, or so they convinced me that I'd messed up my head playing tennis. In reality, it was American football. So that might be embarrassing. I don't remember it at all. In fact, there's probably some college stuff that I don't really remember either. That probably could be song worthy.
We'll come back to it. And then just finally for me is just a bit of a personal question. And I've asked quite a few of our artists that we've interviewed on here. And I want to know about your top 3 goals. And it could be from now in 6 months' time. It could be for the rest of your life. What is Cody's top 3 goals?
Oh, goals. Okay, at first I thought you said top 3
goals.
Yeah. And I was like, that's a good question. Yeah,
you can do that as well. Yep.
Yeah, you can do what you like.
We
your
were
podcast.
Yeah, I was actually telling the band this. We were in Lexington, Kentucky this past week, which is where they now house the famous Cocaine Bear. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
There's a bear that found like 40 kilos of cocaine in the woods and ate it and died. And Waylon Jennings actually owned that bear for a while. Like, it was in his house, and now it's in this like museum in Kentucky. And I told them, I was like, I'm probably not that good at establishing goals for myself. So if I want to establish a goal, maybe my new goal and purpose in music career and making enough money is like, one day I want to own that bear. So I don't know how. I don't know what I would have to do, how much money I would need to make, notoriety I'd need to gain. But if I could be in possession of the bear that, ate too much blow and Waylon Jennings had in his house for a while, I think that would be the coolest thing that you could possibly have. So I think that's my goal.
I don't think you could top that.
Yeah.
I
Another.
mean, that is just. That's all 3 goals.
Okay.
That's it. You've done.
Well,
you're
if
done.
I achieve that goal, that probably means that I've achieved so many other ones. So.
Yeah, and you need to do a party at your house when you've got that bear and we're coming round, because I want to get a photo with the bear. Yeah.
Who would? That's right. Right on.
Well, TJ. Oh no, it's not going to you, is it? I've got lost with the bear. What's going on? We've got the game, apparently, if you still want to do the game.
I do. I'm going to try one thing and let me know if this works. I'm going to plug my phone.
Yeah, go for it.
I think my battery is getting killed by this video. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes.
You can hear me?
Well, you stay still too long then. I thought it crashed out again.
Okay. Good. I plugged my phone in. No. I plugged my phone in. The last thing I want to have happen is for this thing to die. But if you guys are good, then I'm still good. And we have no worries.
We're good.
Okay.
Let's do it. Yeah. We're almost there, mate. We're almost there. We're almost done it.
Nearly. We're nearly there. We've only got a few more questions left. We've got the game first if you want to play the game.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's do
I
it.
like games.
Right. Hit it.
Random.
If you don't remember that, then we're going to fall out.
That was fun.
Buck Owens? No? Yeah, I like that. Anyway, so we've now got a game this episode of Rugged or False.
Ooh.
True or false? I'm going to read a statement, and then Cody's going to give me the answer yes or no, and then TJ's going to give me the answer yes or no, and then I'll toss up the scores at the end of the game, and then we'll play a bit of Bruce Forsyth. So the first one is, bananas are technically berries, but strawberries are not. Cody, true or false?
True.
TJ?
True.
I'm going to wait until the end to do the scores because it just becomes a disaster otherwise.
I'm actually allergic to bananas.
Right.
Fun fact.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they make
What
you
happens
cramp
when
up.
you eat a banana?
I cramp.
Weird.
Oh.
Yeah,
no.
that'd be hilarious to watch.
Yeah. Have you got any bananas?
Can we see it?
Be riveting television.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Anyway, next statement. Sharks existed before trees. True or false, Cody?
I feel like I saw something somewhere that said this, so I'm going to say true.
TJ?
I'm going to go opposite. False.
Next question. The inventor of the Pringles can is buried in one. True or false, Cody?
Yeah, if that were me, yeah, I'd say true. Yeah.
TJ?
I'll say false. I can't get my hand in a Pringles can. So how are you going to get a whole body in
Don't
it?
get me started on you. Don't get me started on you.
Nobody said how big the guy was.
So, could be a thimble. Next statement. In Texas, it's illegal to own more than 6 chickens without a special permit. Cody, true or false?
I really hope it's false. That sounds like the least Texas
I'll
thing
go
I've
false.
ever heard.
Yeah, I thought you could own tigers and like exotic animals in Texas.
Definitely.
Unless I'm wrong.
So, TJ, true or false?
False.
Next statement. Sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins. Cody, true or false?
Well, I mean, it sounds like something that would be a trick question that would be surprising. But if you were good at your job, then maybe some of them should make sense. So I'm going to say false.
TJ.
I'm going to mix it up and go true.
Probably.
Good. Okay.
I've got to win one.
Right, we're gonna do one more. Let's go for that one. Cows in Australia are required to have passports to move between farms. Cody, true or false?
I work a lot in the agriculture business, and my understanding is that a lot of livestock goes between our two nations. I'm going to say true.
TJ.
Because he knows what he's talking about, I'm going to copy him and go true. That's cheating.
Well, I don't know what they're
do
doing, but
Let me just go through the numbers. You'll be happy to know that Cody, you're the winner of that game this evening. You're the winner of the game. TJ's lost.
Well, that was fun.
TJ, play me a bit of Bruce Forsyth, please.
Nice to see you. To see you.
I don't know what Bruce Forsyth has got to do with
Because it's a nice game. And we love to do the accent.
Oh, we do, yeah.
Right, well done, Cody. TJ lost. By the way, the last question, which was cows in Australia are required to have passports to move between farms. It's false.
Oh.
Well,
They don't. There we go.
I was gonna
Cows
go
and
false.
passports.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, passport,
Well, that was
I
fun.
don't know if that means
That's
the same
it.
thing for everybody, but I know, at least in America, like, you know, if you're selling certain states and stuff, they have to have certain certifications. So I don't know if that's a passport thing or not. Anyway, I don't know. You got me.
Anywho. Well, well done for winning. You know, you're not invited back on again because I also hold a grudge and get very bitter about things,
He
particularly
does.
when I lose
He's awful.
games. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Mm.
So cool. Well, I've only got a few more questions, mate, and yeah, we'll go from there. But I think a nice place to kind of move on to after this ridiculous game is about upcoming stuff. So you mentioned, obviously, we got Friday, so don't forget that, people, in terms of Cody's new single, All or Nothing. Can't wait for that. But what else have you got coming up in terms of any new music, tours, or anything of that kind, mate?
Yeah. I mean, we just got done with our, you know, big band run through the Midwest and Kentucky, and that was really cool. We got to play a historic room that I've always wanted to play, Duke's Indy,
Yeah.
which was, I mean, a bucket list thing. But coming up, I mean, we're trying to be more consistent with releasing singles, you know, to try to, again, you know, appease the algorithm and people's attention spans. So we've got kind of a backlog of songs that we've recorded that we're going to be releasing over the next, you know, few months and into 2026. So more songs are on the way. And as far as, you know, no big real tours. Tomorrow, actually, I get to open up for Del McCurry, who's just a bluegrass like living legend. So really looking forward to that. And we have a residency at a really cool club in Richmond called the Camel. So we're playing there every Sunday, and we're having other bands and stuff that we like and love play with us. Nathan Best being one of them. So every
Sweet.
Sunday in October, if you're in Richmond, Virginia, we'll be at the Camel with other cool folks that I like. And
Fantastic.
yeah, other than
mate.
that, man, just working on new stuff and releasing stuff that people haven't heard yet. I mean, I think that's the big plan for the rest of the year, and try to hit the computer and book some more stuff for next year, and hopefully get on some more cool festivals and, you know, do some runs with some cool folks.
Yeah, man. We want to see you at those big festivals like Laurel Cove and, you know, all those good places, and hopefully they'll let us come. Yeah, I'm not sure as it stands. But yeah, it'd be nice to get a ticket and go over there and see the likes of you, mate.
Hey, I'd say that I'd put a
So
word
where
in
can
for
people
you.
find you? What? Yeah, please. It's if you must have more clout than me and Ronnie. Put it that way. It won't be that hard.
Can't say never been, but would love to. Maybe we can get in there together.
We'll get you there. We'll sneak in the back door if there is a back door. We'll find it. But there you go. So in terms of people wanting to find you, if they want to kind of book you up, where's the best place to contact you? Is it Instagram?
Instagram, as far as social media platforms, is definitely the one that I'm the most active on, paying attention to. My Facebook got taken down, and I had to restart that a couple of years ago because I was too funny, and TikTok just never really popped off, so I haven't done too much on TikTok. But yeah, Instagram's a good one. And my website has my main like contact for booking and things like that. It has my email address for the more formal things. Definitely not Facebook Messenger though. Like if you've ever Facebook messaged me, I probably haven't seen it. So I apologize. I just don't look at it. Yeah, CodyChristianMusic.com.
There you go. It's a good website, and yeah, go and check it out. So I will hand over to Ronnie for the final message. Do you want to honour us with that, mate?
You got to stop calling it the final message, because it just makes it sound really like, you know,
Depressing.
it's like the end of time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've got some bits to read out for you, Cody, which mean it just describes you and everything that they say. Some of your fans have described you. It's incredible. But you have been on 3 times to the Rug Revival. It's been an absolute pleasure each time. Each time you've been on, unofficially, my jaw has ached because I've laughed so much. It's been full of laughs, lies, and controversy. So I'll try and say that word again, controversy. But there we are. So we've had an incredible time, and I hope you've had a good time as well. And thank you so much for joining us. But I do want to read some of the fans' comments that have been made about you in a good way. I don't know why I keep laughing, but it's in a good way. So Cody Christian is proof that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away from certainty and run toward the unknown with a guitar in your hand. From the shipyard to the stage, Cody's story is more than music. It's a reminder that dreams don't have deadlines. In every note Cody plays, there's a piece of Virginia, a piece of Appalachia, and a piece of everyone who's ever dared to start over. Cody Christian doesn't just sing about the working class, he carries its spirit in every verse. His music reminds us that the miles between hard work and hope are paved with courage, grit, and a little bit of country soul. And that, for me, just explains everything that you are from start to finish. So
Who
it's been
said
an
that?
absolute pleasure
That
talking
doesn't
with you.
sound like anything somebody.
I've got a
anybody I
list
know
of
would say.
different comments. What I try to do is I try to trawl through social media and
Yeah.
I pick up on different comments that people have made, different magazines, different
That seemed like an AI thing.
outlets,
That
just
seemed
to
really-
just to see what they say. So
Ronnie made it up.
Never.
No, he didn't.
never,
That
never.
was nice, Ron.
Never
That was
do that.
nice.
I wouldn't know what to do.
Right?
Anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm just trying to find the end message. There we go.
You've forgotten it. It's been
Can't
that
believe
long.
I've forgotten it. Yeah, it's been that long. I've forgotten it. Anyway,
Okay.
if you've got a drink, can you raise it for a toast, please, Cody? So, here's a toast to the grit, the grind, and to the revival. Cheers to everyone for listening. Cheers, Cody.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.